and Josh Green will start as the sub. Let's go to the action. And Cruiser starting up forward in his return game, starting at full forward. We're underway at Etihad Stadium. Beautiful conditions for football. No getaway early. Free kick's been paid and some play on advantage. There you go, the controversy to start it. Patfull squeezes it inside 50, knocked away from Retzlaff, who gets it back. Clark, who's been their best player in the last couple of weeks, a little down last week, back to Patfull. Rich, speaking of down weeks, had a horrendous game last week. Polkinghorne pumps it, but pumps it wide. And it was on the line, so it'll be a ball in, forward pocket.
Yeah, David King, pre-game, we talked about the entries for Brisbane. Just need to go a little bit more direct there. We had Mitch Clark trying to get to the top of the square.
From the throw-in, Hampson gets front position in, but knocks it down to Redden. No real clean possession. Clark trying to go for the second effort, but it goes over the boundary once again.
Super important Clark has a very good start to the game and even hits the scoreboard, because a lot will be dependent on Jonathan Brown, but he's going to have his hands full on probably the informed defender in the competition in Jamison, who's only conceded 6 goals in 8 games.
Spills to Robinson, who clears away from the congestion. It was a smother by Adcock. And then we went to Leuenberger. Brown is 4th or 5th up, but he couldn't take it. Yaron first for Carlton. Tui to Murphy, deep in defence. Measured passes a beauty to Simpson, but he just spilt the mark. Hooked back in, and unfortunately for the Lions, it's taken by Bryce Gibbs.
And he's away, wasting no time. Eddie Betts has got his mojo back, and he's on the outer side. Already the crowd's roaring. He pumps it long, it's over Cruz's head. Henderson! Well, they brought him back in against his old club, maybe to rub some salt in. He was the man that they changed for Fev, and he gets them an early inside 50 to Judd.
Well, it was a magnificent forward setup, because I thought Cruiser was on, but he led to the boundary line. The midfield then looked up, and there's Henderson pushing hard, and that's what you want from your midfield. Push hard in the forward line and get your opposition opponent in a real defensive position.
3 Brownlow votes last time these two teams met. Chris Judd. I'd love the first one. And again, his goal kicking lets him down. That's 4 goals, 11 for the season for Juddy.
Certainly has got a terrific record against the Lions, not just when he's at Carlton, but the West Coast Eagles. He dominated contests there, both at the Gabba and over in Perth.
Here's Hanley kicking the ball out. Ranked number 1 in the competition for rebounds and averaging 20 disposals a game.
Certainly in the last month, Danny's really come into his own.
Yeah, he's starting to get the nuances of AFL football. His decision-making's been terrific.
This is Banfield on the wing. Down the line he drives it. And it was an easy one for Thornton to come over the top to spoil. Jamison decides to back himself and his teammates by keeping it in. Gibbs spots up Carazzo, defensive 50. They move the ball quickly. Looking through the corridor, sliding in Henderson again. Wants a runner, gets one. Murphy should have been wrapped up by Power, evades the tackle. Scotland going past. Switch here from Carlton. And it ends up with Dygan, short. Garlick. Too far out to score. Cruiser lopes into the pocket. Judd in front of him. And it almost falls for Henderson.
He's on fire.
He's everywhere. Henderson, that's paid.
That's his 3rd mark inside forward 50, and we haven't even gone 5 minutes yet.
Something to prove, perhaps. And he's got to go back over the mark. Not sure why, but it was fairly clear that the umpire hadn't blown time on.
Well, if you want to make an impression to your senior coach when you've had a little bit of a spell, just get the ball in your hands. And have a look here. He's just demanding the ball at the moment.
Oh, but I mean, there was 2 lines in front of him.
Yep.
And they let it go over the back, which is the cardinal sin from the defender's perspective. But here's Henderson now. We reload. Just chips it. So Cruiser can run onto it. Couldn't take it, and the lines were clear.
Short pass, midfield, Retzlaff. Trying to get Cruiser into it. There's no doubt about that. Long,
Brown
again,
double turn.
they've got the numbers. Jamison knocks it down. Banfield, who's been having quiet days at the office lately. And he misses again, Todd Banfield. Lower possession numbers this year, but has been on the Goal kickers list the last couple of weeks, which is better news. Short to Murphy.
Great front and square from Banfield, because you know when Brown's going to get double teamed, invariably the ball's going to hit the deck. So he needs support, Jonathan Brown.
Simpson inboard. Curnow. Murphy. And they're away on the open side. Dygan, Scotland, the number one passer inside 50 this year. He kicks it just outside 50 to Henderson. Another one for him. Cruiser's on the move. Got the reach. Couldn't quite bring it in. Was half held. Gathers.
Great recovery.
Goes. Gave it to Hampson. Couldn't collect it. A knockout from Russell. Gets it back again. And now Cruiser has the shot at goal. Rebounds off. They're under siege right now, the Brisbane Lions. Carazzo gives it back. Russell from 60. Shorts it. Pocket. Walker. Too good.
Again, just how many times the ball gets in there. Dwayne, your call was spot on. They're under siege. Oh, it's 50 metres. That's the last thing that they need there, Brisbane. Back chatting the umpire, Dwayne.
Well, career best, 6 straight last week, and drives it through for the opener.
Much improved player, and in the pre-season was touted in a trade with Adelaide, and Carlton now want to sign him up, and this is why, as you said, Dwayne, coming off a 6-goal game last week. Andrew Walker, he was the number 1 draft pick 6 years ago, and he's now starting to reap the benefits of being injury-free. He's had a lot of injuries with his shoulders, 3 or 4 constructions of the shoulders. Terrific start for Walker.
26 goals for the year for Walker. He's been outstanding up forward. And the Blues get the first goal of the afternoon. And they're back in the middle, and Hampson is attempting to find Scotland. He got his arms free. Judd scooped it up, flipped it out. Tui off the outside of the boot. Clever, but unfortunately no one else knew where it was going. Here's Collier for the Lions. By hand, bit of pressure for Redden. Caught is Golby. Adcock trying to paddle it back. O'Brien, and now Collier. Roosts it high. Brown can't get there. He's in late. Second.
No, it's a free kick to Brown.
He'll win the free kick, and just for half a second there I thought he's going to get hit in the head. In a very similar situation to when he missed 9 weeks.
Well, you can see Michael Jamieson still on the ground. He was the one that I think to give the free kick away. He won't be happy with that, because it's probably an area where you don't want to give Jonathan Brown a free kick by just falling in his back. Make him earn it in the air, but not an easy free kick when you're just sprawling over the top.
20 seconds.
So for the answering goal for the Lions, 45 metres out, almost directly in front. His kicking has been very good this season. He doesn't like that off the boot though. It was never going through, just the behind.
He's kicked just 1 goal in the past 2 weeks, Jonathan Brown.
Let's have a look at the free kick. Yeah, it was always there.
He'll be disappointed with that start, because he is the man that's going to have to nail the goals when he gets the chance. Simpson went inboard, tries to mop up his mess. Simon Black on hands and knees, scrambled it out to Power, tucked in. Polkinghorn bumped his own man out of the way. A mad scramble. Rockcliffe dives in. Back into the team this week, Tom Rockcliffe, after a calf strain, and will get a ball up.
David King, it's pretty important that you can see Thornton trying to play that loose man, that Brisbane really play one-on-one in their forward 50.
Exactly right, Danny, and I think that the Carlton rebound has been able to be too pure coming out of their back 50 because of that loose man. This is the first time they've been able to stop Carlton rebounding.
Plenty of players around the ball. Murphy squeezes it out for Carlton. One-on-one situation here. Hampson, Maguire got there first. Ends up with Black. And Simon Black kicks it out on the full. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, we'll see blood on Polkinghorn there. It won't be long before he comes off the ground. Let's
Just
have a
in
look.
that scrimmage,
Oh,
head
friendly
clash.
fire.
Yeah. Head clash with Sheldon.
Surely it just have to come off the ground.
And he's trying to get there now.
Yeah. How's he look, David King?
He doesn't look real good, Danny, does he? Bit of Braveheart about it.
Oh, gee.
Special comments, Danny Frawley, and questions of the very obvious. Sheldon off as well, so both involved in the head clash go to the bench.
Yaron from fullback, out of side, Digan, and now the runner Zach Tui. Irish winning game 2, short, half forward, Etihad. Flicks it wide. Tui again, ran on, 2 possessions in the string. Eddie Betts about to pounce, looks around, gives it up instead, and slotted from the goal line by Walker. They're doing as they please.
It's Walker's second goal, and it's a Cardinals in. I think it was Pierce Hanley who tried to have a piece of the ball on Eddie Betts. So you've got to play super defensive on Eddie Betts. You can see the ball here come in from the Irishman, and there Eddie Betts just eased him under the ball. That is a cardinal sin as a defender. You know that Eddie Betts is one of the best front and square players in the competition, and you've got to play percentage. Keep him between you and the goals, and that's it. Too easy, that goal.
Well, he's just picked up from where he left off last week with 6 goals. He's got 2 already, Walker. And Hanley, the man who made the error for the Lions, Danny, off to the bench.
Yeah, there's no doubt the defensive coach will have a word. Keep Eddie between you and the goals.
Cherno, now Scotland, not quite possession. Leuenberger got a call from Robinson, said, here, you take it. Carazzo kicking Carlton forward. Collier goes back for the Lions. Takes the mark in front of LA. Decides to switch the play, and Redden is there. Wants someone going past. Eventually gets it. Still his
well
kick.
read.
Yeah, beautifully read, Jamison.
In terrific form. Not only is he not conceding goals, he's just attacking the contest.
Just a lackadaisical kick there from Simpson to find Carazzo in the middle.
Heath Scotland just limping off the ground there, David King.
And that's another lazy kick from Carlton, but luckily they've got some numbers. We'll get to David shortly as the Blues are out wide again. Garlett's going to take on Patfoot. Couldn't get past, but he got support. Russell, a little bit untidy. Still maintaining possession though, Carlton. Digan's kick into the pocket. Strong hands, good mark, Eddie Betts.
Just options they've got Carlton at the moment, all over the ground. A little bit of a blue there, about 45 metres out.
Top of the square, Simpson's coming in late. Long run from him. Big leap, couldn't take it over the top of Ricks. They're not out of trouble yet, the Lions. Redden had it a long time. He had it too long holding the ball.
Forward pressure. That's why they're ranked number 1 in the competition for tackles inside their forward line.
Scotland's up, boys. He's just walking the boundary now. Just a slight little knock on the knee, I think.
But that's terrific. Brett Ratton will be wrapped with that forward pressure.
It'll be Henderson, and there's Heath getting ready to come back on.
Start of the game well, Henderson. But the 4 marks as we talked about, and he deserves this goal because of his work rate.
This for Carlton's third, and to put them out to a 17-point lead. 20 metres out, shouldn't be a difficult kick, just needs to follow through. And probably shouldn't have opened the mouth.
Yeah. He followed through, Matty, but the ball didn't quite hit the middle of his foot.
It's an old formula, though, isn't it? Playing a guy against his old club. Both these teams at their post-Favola phase. Brisbane Lions just at the start of it, with Fev still on their list, and Carlton very close to the end of it, which is good news for them. That's a good blood cruiser.
Listen,
ominous sign.
Have a listen to the crowd. Oh, we've missed that, the big rouge.
Top of the square, Hampson. Anything you can do. Of course, Robbie Warnock played in the reserves yesterday and got through okay after concussion. So that's the good news. They've got plenty of ruckman to pick from. Power to Leuenberger. Big Carlton fan as a kid, wanted to come to the club. Stephen Kernahan at his wall. Banfield bursts through, hands it over the top. McGrath tries to run his way through a tackle. Does. Clark has the shot. It's a roller. Gibbs gets back, bounces past him, and they get there first.
You take the game on, and you're going to have your foot in your mouth a couple of times at Brisbane. I think Michael Voss will be happy with that goal. There's no doubting that. They've taken the game on. More importantly, he wheeled into corridor and used hands and trying to break through the press of Carlton. Once you get through around that centre forward area, Clark only had one option, that was to go to goal, and didn't look pretty, but it was effective, and they really needed that for their own confidence, Brisbane Lions, just taking the game on.
Mitch Clark got the kind bounce. That's his 50th goal in AFL football, coming in his 76th game. But an important one for the Lions as they prepare both Sheldon and Polkinghorne to come back on, and they're wearing a fair bit of tape. Clearance for Brisbane, but just going to be an easy one on the chest of Gibbs, the 100-gamer. Yaron, wide, hard running from Russell, allows it to bounce, goes back to Scotland. Very rarely wastes the footy.
Well, it was Gibbs, Yaron and Scotland. All terrific ball use, and throw in Russell as well. That's the other improvement, Carlton. Their ball use out of the back half has been elite.
A little bit too much on that kick from Walker. 6-point margin. And Leuenberger and Cruiser. An easy one for Murphy to Judd. And turn Thornton off a step. Kicks it into the sun. Going to be a tough one to mark, but they come at a big one. And it's Hampson. He's looked at Henderson. He said, I can do better.
Unstoppable. That was just unbelievable. The big arms extended, the leap. That is a magnificent mark. Nothing the defenders could do there.
Mark Murphy coming for a rest, boys. He had a fantastic start again. 8 disposals, head-to-head with Luke Power at the stage.
Fantastic grab from Hampson. Deserves to finish off with a goal. Will kick from right on 50. Hits it beautifully as he got the distance right to the line. An anti-climax.
That's an unbelievable grab there from Hampson.
Trouble again for the Lions from the bring-in. Collier, Adcock to get them out of trouble. Redden shoots it wide. Hanley tucked into that pocket. Just hacks it outside 50. It'll be coming back. Hampson shoots it to Judd. Hands it over. Curnow didn't want to have the shot at goal. Pokes it to Ellard. And he is going to back his little leg to swing through this and score from 50.
Well, it's the ball use at the moment. Carlton going at 75%. It's the most important stat. It always has been, but more so in today's AFL footy. Brisbane going at 52%.
It's kicked 3-3 this year. Kicking from virtually the spot Sean Hampson kicked from moments ago and didn't make the distance. Strikes that nicely. It's drifting back. He squeezed it in. Carlton hot early.
Kingy, it's about the ball use, isn't it? We've studied the Brisbane Lions, and it's just the ball use. Brisbane are winning enough of the ball, but they're just hurting themselves by foot.
They are. They've had 21 kicks for only 4 marks. So their possession retention is the real problem, opposed to Carlton, who've had 41 kicks for 26 marks. So that's the difference at the moment. Just a lack of composure.
Ellard gets his first, and Carlton out to a 13-point break. And Clark and Hampson to do battle in the ruck. Clearance again for Carlton. Ellard, the goal kicker. And a whistle on the play. Adcock wants the free kick.
I think they've had to make a move, boys. Mark Murphy's now gone forward. Adcock, his opponent. He went head-to-head with Luke Power in the first 15 minutes of this game, and his ability to rack up possessions is again a highlight, Mark Murphy. He had 8 already.
Well, they've taken a mark there, David, but that wasn't intended. That was a poor kick from Adcock, and Stiller turned around and found it right on top of his head.
Just need to wheel and go a little bit more, Brisbane as well. They're just going back off the mark, and what it does, this is what happens. 3-on-1 Jonathan Brown. You just got to turn and go, and don't be afraid to make a mistake by playing on quickly, because the more they go back off the mark, it's just giving the Carlton halfbacks more opportunity to guard the space in front of Jonathan Brown.
Clark wins the knock. He's looking for Rich down in front, and he backs him up. Tries to get past Curnow. It's not a pretty kick. Brown was third in line, but Gibbs did enough just to get a hand on it so it stopped it going past. Jamieson to Thornton with a switch. He's going to test out Yaron. Banfield's got pace though. Probably the best man for the job as far as the Lions forward to keep up with Yaron. Clever from Scotland. So much experience there, and now the switch back to Jamison.
Tui showed immense poise there. Jamison over the top to Gibbs. They're taking it on at every chance. Hampson is playing a delightful game. Knows how much pressure's on him. With Warnock lurking in the twos. And put his teammate Dygan under a bit of pressure, but he was equal to it.
Of course, Cruiser coming back today, Dwayne.
Yep.
There's a bit more added pressure because once he's fit and firing, he's the number one.
So you think they'll go with a one ruckman setup?
Well, no, but there's pressure on for spots, and that's what you want. If you've got to be a top 4 team, you need 3 or 4 ruckmen.
Well, 3 into 2 doesn't go, does it?
Well, it's not a matter of if they get injured, it's when a ruckman, because it's just a collision type of game they play.
The ball looked out. I think Jonathan Brown thought it was out, and Ellard took it on. The crowd thought he deserved the free. Redden takes on the tackler. Robinson gets away with it. Stiller, Austin, back to Redden, hugging the boundary. Gibbs, beaten by the bouncing Retzlaff, has some strength. Luke Power, just his 3rd possession, pokes it inside 50. Little tap away, and unfortunately for Sheldon, played for the free and didn't get it. Tui. He looks good in game 2. He's 21 years of age, the Irishman, but again, didn't waste that possession to Simpson.
Brisbane have been inside their forward 59 times, David King, but they've been shallow entries.
They have. The one thing that's really disappointed me, Danny, about the Brisbane Lions so far is their inability to lay tackles. 6 tackles for the quarter, and that's in 22 minutes of football. Michael Voss will be devastated by that. The one thing they can guarantee is a defensive work rate, and they haven't shown it.
Judd longish in the Hampson direction, set it up for him to go the big leap again. Patfull shrugs a couple of tackles and got away with it. Polkinghorne, Hanley, caught, back again. Almost a throw from Power. Maguire, he did throw it away as quickly as possible. Walker got it from Gibbs. Gives it up quickly. Murphy sidesteps, back to Gibbs. Well worked. Henderson feeding back toward goal. Goes, can't get it. Off some hands. Garlett misread it. Redden just in time. Collier stripped of it. Could well have been ball. Crowd thought it should have been.
Let's go with the ball, Dwight.
And whether the tackle stuck long enough. Maybe the umpire thought the tackle wasn't a tackle, it was more a bump, but they'll get away with it anyway. Betts back. Simpson from 40. Stand-start kick at goal is wide.
He took the tackler on, though.
He did.
If you take the tackler on,
And
to
you knock
me,
it free,
you've got prior advantage.
I'm with you 100%.
So I think whether it's spilt 3 or not, have a look. He's taken the tackle on. Great tackle. Should be a shot at goal to Garlett.
That's the difference, isn't it? The harassment of Carlton versus that of Brisbane is the game at the moment.
And it's their forward line pressure as well. Because what's happening is now the rebounding from Brisbane's been static and been under pressure.
And that is exactly what they're at the moment, static. And half a balk and an error. And the confidence is starting to sap out of the Lions in their back 50.
Such a simple thing to do as man the mark. Hawthorn nearly won a premiership in 2008. They were manic in manning the mark, and Carlton now are one of the best teams in the competition at manning the mark. It's a simple skill, but it's a team discipline.
From the boundary throw, and it's a Carlton free kick. Kerner. Scotland just peels off of him. He's going to drive it long. Walker. Eddie Betts, this is what he loves to do. Create and kick spectacular goals.
Terrific goal. He won the Walker earlier goal assist. Andrew Walker's kicked 2. Eddie Betts has given Walker 1. It was Walker's spoiled. Now look at this for team discipline. Walker goes up 2-on-1, brings the ball to the ground. Eddie Betts, cat-like reflexes, fumbled the first one, but then somehow got the kick underneath 3 or 4 Brisbane players' legs. Have a look at this for skill. It is just a magnificent goal. Outstanding goal from Eddie Betts. 5 goals last time he played Brisbane.
Yeah, you're right, Danny. That was round 14 here last year. Big turnaround in Carlton's form last year against Brisbane. They've met twice last year, and Brisbane won the first encounter by 19. It's in round 2. And then Carlton blew them away by 55 points later in the year. They're threatening to blow them away here. Ellard flies in and takes a splendid grab on 50. Almost got 50.
He's winning their own ball at the moment, Carlton. Judd on his own.
Judd will look for a pass option.
just outside his distance.
Not a lot of space to kick to. But a wide kick, Scotland. Just pokes it into the hole, looking for Murphy. Leuenberger had the reach. Caught by Scotland, who was waiting in that hole. Rockcliffe shuffles it toward the boundary. Clark might be content to see this out. And Sheldon almost takes it out. He does take it out and will get a ball in. He's the player that Carlton didn't want under the father-son rule, Sam Sheldon. Son of the Carlton Premiership player. 28 plays 8, 25 minutes gone.
Simon Black can't get into the game. Murphy wins a free kick. He can get into the game. He's right in it. This will be his 10th disposal.
Well, Luke Power, boys, he started on Mark Murphy, who had 8 touches, as we said. Now he's gone to Chris Judd, who's starting to come into the game also with 9 this quarter.
Henderson again was the target, but it falls for Rich. Collier can't get past a couple of tacklers. Clark, pretty good below the knees there, to Black. By hand, asks a bit of Sheldon from a half volley, still hasn't got it yet. And they coughed it up, although Thornton did likewise for Carlton. Taken by Alston. Now Adcock can assess what's ahead of him. And he spots and he uses Daniel Rich, who can keep going. 60 metres out, he can get home from here. Just a question of accuracy, and he doesn't miss those. He likes them from a long way out.
Well, again, it was taking the game on through the middle of the ground. Wasn't pretty, but they need to take those opportunities. And they're going through the corridor, and that's the way you've got to attack Carlton, because their forward-line press and their tackling's been terrific. But that was the key to get in there. It looked like it was a dangerous kick early to Rich, but they give him a lot of space, and he went the long kick. Just terrific play. The Carlton zone, they just laid off a little bit too much there on Daniel Rich, and we know he's a long, penetrating kick.
What a better game this week, coming off the worst game of his career last week. 9 possessions only. Worst tally of his young career. Daniel Rich. 1 minute 41 left in this quarter. Hampson back into the ruck, so Cruiser will be used sparingly in the ruck. Black almost a clearance. Robinson gets it wide to Dygan. The Blues are away again. Left foot. It's a little wobbly. And almost the mark. It's been paid to Stiller. Simpson thought he got a fingernail on it. And this big crowd also are with their man. Thought he got a touch. Clark. Brisbane Lions might be happy to go in, 28-14. Stop the bleeding with that goal. Maguire. Pumps it wide. Leuenberger goes. Had hands on it. Redden steals just inside the line to Austin. He can get and go. He's got McGrath peeling for him. Needs to get back off the mark. And McGrath manned up now. Jonathan Brown leads short. It's in his direction. Jamison knocks it down. Simon Black from 40. Stand start across the face. And that would have been huge with 37 seconds left on the clock.
Just to add to David King's point about the tackling, it's 22-7. But Carlton had 20 more disposals, so Brisbane have actually had more opportunity to tackle, yet they're only 30% of the tackles to what Carlton's got, and that's work rate. That's not skill. That's desire and want.
Into the sunlight it goes, and the pack forms down in front. Henderson was trying to crumb it. Dolby over the top. They appeal for a free kick. The Lions, they may win it. They do.
Have they got time?
You just know when the umpire just pauses. He just sweats, he pauses, and the whistle's going to come. And Mitch Golby is going to run out of time unless he can kick a Jeff Ferring. So quarter time here at Etihad Stadium. Carlton in control on the scoreboard, in control on the stat sheet.
Bounce to start this second term, and it favoured Leuenberger, who knocks it down, but to Ellard. Carazzo. Working it back, Thornton bounced it towards Judd, made it tough for him, manhandled off it, forced to tackle himself. Polkinghorn, Clark, Rich bangs it inside 50. McGrath read the bounce, but then the bounce second time poorly for him. Over it, scoops the handball up. Simon Black lurking again, Ellard right with him, wearing him like a glove. Kick smothered. Redden went back inboard, attempted the handball, it was smothered. Black lays a tackle that was high in the back of Tui. Zach Tui back pocket. Looking into the sun from there. I've seen a number of players have some problems in this game so far. Wide ball, Hampson forced to fist it down. Rockcliffe, gang tackled. And the umpire gives him an enormous amount of time to get rid of it. Scotland waltzes away down the outer side. Over the head of Cruiser. Collier collects. Heads it wide to Hanley. And he gets away from Cruiser with ease, who's maybe a little rusty on the run. But Tui got the goods right now.
In front of Jonathan Brown again. King, how do we get Jonathan Brown into the game? He's only had 2 disposals. Brisbane have been inside their forward 50 13 times, but he's been the target once.
And Carlton know roughly where it's going. It's going in that vicinity. I think that you can play him on the wing. He's got a huge tank. Just go and let him run around for 10 minutes.
Here's Redden, who just keeps getting possessions.
Well, he's up to possession 14 now.
Him and Rockcliffe just accumulate through the midfield. Power, the little chip. Radar's just off on Luke Power. The Banfield can be dangerous here. O'Brien's give back. Polkinghorn around the corner, usually gets it a long way, but it's just a behind.
They need to take their chances, Brisbane. I know that was a rushed sort of a kick from play, but playing to state, they really need to hit the scoreboard.
Well, you talked about Jonathan Brown. They've got to take some risks through the midfield and get it in there quickly. Don't give Thornton, don't give Tui a chance, or don't give Dugan a chance to cut in front and make it a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1.
He might be right, though. It may be due to fitness as well. Maybe just give him a run for 3 or 4 minutes on the ball, get him into the game, a la Lance Franklin.
I'm pretty sure they decided a couple of years ago.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And look, and that's fair enough too. You don't want to just get him injured for injured's sake, but he could be the difference for Brisbane, you know, right in this game of football, if he can set the game alight, and maybe just for a couple of minutes, just to get his confidence up. More important, his teammates around his confidence, because he's one guy that can really inject a lot of life into their team.
Carazzo, caught. Garlett, dragged down by Rich, over the shoulder, Carlton free kick. Game a little bit stagnant the last couple of minutes. Carlton trying to break away here from the congestion. Scotland, low ball to Beauty. Lovely pass, Henderson. On to Murphy. And that's good footy. And it's Carazzo, I should say.
That was the difference. We talk about the stagnant play of Brisbane. As soon as the play and the tackle here from Rich on Garlett over the top, and you could see that, you know, that's experience. You've got to go low with your arms with the tackle, but the key after that was the quick ball movement for Carlton. Really didn't give a chance for the Brisbane defence to get set at all. Henderson's having a great game, 5 marks, a goal assist now to Carazzo. Good play.
Carazzo gets a rest for his trouble, and if you've been watching the Stanley Cup finals this week, you'll see that it's exactly what happens in ice hockey. They bring them straight off after a goal. They rotate in 3s and 4s, and plenty of coaches watching other sport to get ideas these days. Henderson flies, can't mark. Hanley tries to knock it on to Maguire. Danger here, paddled on. Garlett had it, lost it, got it back, knocked away, and they'll get a ball in.
What's the beauty of Betts and Garlett, isn't it? You could just see there was no real possession, but the Brisbane line defenders were pretty hesitant to get their hands on the ball. If they do, they're nearly going to get tackled.
Back into play. Leuenberger knocks it down. Murphy tried to roll it through. Stiller. Black, Power, Redden, Hanley. Caught. Leuenberger.
Good pickup.
It was for a big man on the run. That's poor. Uncharacteristic error from Simon Black. Put Golby under pressure. Got it to Stiller. Just bangs it towards the wing. Thornton's down there. Slung was Gibbs. No free. Clark plays on to advantage. Wobbles it to half forward. Yaron. Sheldon. And Yaron waited for him to get it and then picked him off beautifully. McGrath. He rolls it towards goal. That would have been a miracle. Hits the post.
Quick play here by Carlton. They're on the move.
Well, they're taking the game on, Matty. Oh, look at Henderson again.
Again, he's the go-to man, Henderson. Another mark for him. Now, further down the line, Walker's got plenty of room. He can take it and go. He's going to kick it long to the goal square. Hampson the target. At the back, where the spoil came out, just to put play.
Probably the Gibbs on the wing. I thought he nearly took the mark here, and then he got slung there from Mitch Clark. Well, the worst one didn't realise. No, good decision from the umpire.
Something from nothing. And that was Etihad.
They're just working harder here, Matty. I think the Carlton are just spreading harder, covering the ground harder, both to attack and defend. Their work rate is, I reckon, 30% higher than that of the Lions.
Is it also options? You saw Henderson to Walker to Hampson to Cruiser. Like Carlton have got plenty of options where it looks like it's Jonathan Brown focused down the other end.
Yeah, it's just the intent to spread before the Lions are ready to cover the ground. They just don't seem to want to work as hard as what the Blues do.
And they're sharing it really well here, David. It's a wonderful switch from Dyken. We got it from Curnow.
It's a beauty, Dyken.
Jamison, this is how to break up any zone. Scotland, superb pass, wonderful kick onto the chest of Garlick.
Nick Dyken, Matty.
Back inside, sorry Danny, back inside to Simpson. Terrific footy, Carlton.
No, 17 disposals he's averaging per game. He used the ball really well, but he's only conceded 7 goals from 10 games. What a great mature age recruit to come in and play in this back half.
3 goals is the margin. Simpson looking to make it 4. He's a wingman that just loves to kick goals. Almost old-fashioned. Getting down and kicking 2 or 3 goals. They test him right on 50 though. And doesn't hit it well. Just to behind.
He's become an integral part of their team. Never misses a game. It's 130 in a row now for Cade Simpson.
Got the bulk of the salary cap on the bench at the moment, boys. Chris Judd and Mark Murphy just having a little rest.
So they'd have the bulk of it if they just had Chris Judd on the bench on his own, Kingy. Wide ball, close to the line, and Dyken, who really is the star this year. He's too old, obviously, for the NAB Rising star, but he is the Podsy Ardley of 2011. And he's given a lot of other people hoping to get drafted that have missed out in previous drafts hope again next year. Rockcliffe to half forward. Jonathan Brown trying to work his way into it. Tries to twist on Jamison. Caught, dragged down. Robinson, who was superb last week. Started a little slower this week, but he was dominant in last week's game. Starting to wind his way into it. Hampson just outside 50. The leads come wide. Henderson.
7 marks now, Wayne, to Henderson.
Tucked into the boundary. He's thinking he might just have it. He's done the Dunstall.
We missed the easy one in the first quarter. Let's see if we can get the hard.
Here's the marks inside 50. Carlton 11. Brisbane Lions 0. It's a whitewash.
Ducky.
So he's got it behind. This is his second game for the season. Lockie Henderson back in this week. Strikes it nicely. It's drifting across. And another behind.
Well, they played Henderson early on. He had an injury over the pre-season. He was obviously underdone. Sent him back to the VFL for 3 or 4 games. He's come back a different player.
As you mentioned, 7 marks in his 8 disposals. As the Lions move forward, it's punched on by Redden. Banfield went into a brick wall. Cruiser is there. Sheldon in a circle. Stiller got a player out wide on the switch and decides to use him. Goldman, well, that's not good. Robinson. That is. And Walker, we could probably get home from here.
Player of the day from Robertson. Great smother, great gather, great kick.
Just a little bit of indecision from Walker now. Now decides to go back and have a shot for number 3. Outside 50, right to the line. Oh, it's a beauty. 3 goals to Walker. Who doesn't he enjoy it?
More importantly, 3 straight. It's just a different player.
Was it 6 straight last week?
6 straight last week, so he's kicked 9 in the last 6 quarters of football. Again, the ball mover, Mitch Robertson, play of the day. Smother, frontal pressure, brings the ball down, gathers, lace out football. Now, you know you're on song when you just go back from 55 on a pretty difficult angle and you clear the pack by 5 metres. How easy is that?
Three to Walker. Carlton can overtake Hawthorn, move up to third on the ladder with a win today. And they have a monster crowd in here at Etihad Stadium. Filled right to the back. And why wouldn't you come? Ellard with the bump. And another big attack from Tui. Fantastic play. Got the handball out, the tough Irishman. Hampson flicks it to Betts somehow. He keeps it alive somehow. Murphy somehow didn't get a free. Hanley back to half forward, but Thornton waiting for it. It'll be coming back.
Yeah, that's that loose man again. It's obviously the Brisbane half forward that's just loitering around half forward because Thornton's always the release kick.
They're trying to get Jonathan Brown one-on-one and Carlton are refusing to allow it. And that's just a battle that I don't think Michael Voss is going to be able to win today. He has to find another way for that to work in the forward line.
They waited a long time to get that to Russell. Tries to spear it to Robinson. Power read it. Was ready to pick it off. So Retzlaff. And again, uncertainty. Redden. He's been their main man. 16 possessions. The next best, Polkinghorne with 11 for the Lions, and he was their number 1 possession getter last week as well. Redden to Clark.
8 of those being contested too, Dwayne. So he's winning the hard ball as well.
This is serving him well. Just chip the ball around for a while, get some ownership and some control of the game. They're actually winning the contested possession battle at the moment, Brisbane, which is staggering when you look at the scoreboard. And it's just their ability to get players out into space quickly because of their spread, their lack of spread, I should say.
Well, they've worked it all the way around the ground to the opposite side now to Stiller. Carlton have got all their numbers back on a big press. And the kick from Stiller really didn't give Retzlaff much of a chance. And he's going to have to back into the pack. Over the top of Scotland. Carazzo, and we've got a ball up. So for all the good work of maintaining possession, Carlton didn't panic, just shifted the zone across.
And that's what you get from Carlton now. Couldn't say that 12 months ago. I think if they attack, they'll hit the scoreboard, but defensively they were found wanting. Now they're extremely difficult to score against. And you know what you're going to get.
Carazzo, the 1-2 with Curnow. And he decides to kick it long and standing on his own. And how does that happen? Robinson, 20 metres on his own. Now he cuts back to where the play just came from. Long left boot's a good one. In fact, the kick had too much on it. It's Simpson reading it. Hands off. Garlett, tight on the boundary. Around the corner he goes. Too much. Too much.
That was the option. He had a look inboard. There's nothing there. So that's when you got the opportunity. You see him have a look. There's no one there. There's a Brisbane Lions player on top of the square. That's when you can have a shot at goal from the boundary line.
Maguire, 44-17. Brisbane Lions already on the canvas. Hanley, Golby. It's been a tough first day for him.
When Brisbane Lions look their best this year, Dwayne, I think it's when Mitch Clark has been just down there in front of Jonathan Brown at centre-half forward, taking that initial hit-up lead, 60-70 from goal, then going to Jonathan Brown. He's not even presenting at the moment across the half-forward area. That's where they're breaking down.
Patfield goes to him in his direction, but once again, Jamison outread him. Went hard, nearly knocked himself out, though. Sheldon heads to the pocket. Retzlaff with the reach. Well done, Thornton. Knocks it out of play and will get a ball in.
That was the option. Just need another secondary forward. You see Jamison there, the head clash with Black. Just need another secondary forward to take a clunk inside their forward 50.
Jamison back on it. Banfield wraps up Judd. And that's going nowhere. Ball up, 30 metres out from the Lions' goal. They really have struggled to have any target whatsoever inside their forward 50, as the stats told us earlier. Brown, whistle, Carlton free kick. And it's going back to Yarran. Well, he's not going to get it. He's going to get it from Hampson. Away he goes. Run and carry again. Look at this.
Oh, how far?
Well, he had a bounce. We got it off, but there's some good pressure coming from the Lions. But the numbers will win out here. And some instruction and running from Carazzo. And it was just a hand on it from Austin. Now some rebound here from the Lions, or they turn it over. Robinson. Carazzo again. Robinson just relaxes over the top. Not his best kick. In fact, one he won't want to watch the replay on. Rich, short. Retzlaff his target. Again though, Denny, it's very static.
And again, it's due to that extra player, Matty, behind the ball. Because you look up, you're outnumbered.
Gee, that's a lot of height.
Oh, gee, he's in trouble now.
All the best. Maguire got to beat 2. They're swarming on him. Betts is there. Somehow, Collier got it out.
Did well, Maguire in the end.
He was under enormous pressure. Patrick can't get past, and the Lions will think that's half a win.
Garlick and Betts bearing down on him. Matty Maguire. So Vossi there.
Large pack around this ball up. Hampson knocks it down. Polkinghorne got it out. Rockcliffe goes back. Adcock short. Austin. He's trying to stop the bleeding right now. We've played 17 minutes. Second term. Not really playing to win it right now. Maguire floats it wide. Robinson gets there with a splendid fist on Stiller. Beats him to it. Got caught but got the handball up. Great half volley. Russell pushed in the backside on the kick by McGrath and wins a free.
That's got to be 50 now. And no choice, the umpire there to 50.
How good Mitch Robinson, Danny. Well, his last 3 or 4 defensive efforts have been fantastic.
Clinging over that far wing, you're absolutely 100% correct. He's won his own ball, he's tackling, he's chasing. It's been first class.
So Russell to have the shot. Been a little wobbly during his career. In fact, 16.25 for his career at goal, but that's directly out. And that's on the button.
We're playing like a top 4 team. It's as simple as that. If they win this game today, it'll put them nearly 6 points up on the 5th team, but it's the options. Carazzo, Murphy, Mitch Robinson. It was just amazing effort on that far wing. You see McGrath, the umpire had no option but to give him 50. The kick was always going to Carlton, he knew that, he didn't argue.
Russell the goal kicker, and the margin is now 33 points in this last 7 or so minutes before half-time. Very important for the Lions.
No, it certainly is. They hang in there in the first quarter.
Yep.
I think Jonathan Brown's the worry because they continually go to him. He's 2-on-1.
Here he is with the sun in his eyes. The wind from the circle came from power. Grip Gibbs in the right spot to Yaron Thornton with confidence. Just a sidestep Banfield, then kick it wide. Simpson crumbs it over to Ellard, and away he goes. The Blues looking dangerous once again. Eddie Betts. And Eddie, 50 metres out, decides he's going to lay it off to Walker. A little bit too much on the kick, but Robinson is dangerous. He goes down, and he takes his time getting up.
Oh, he saw.
And the Lions will run it out.
Doesn't move, Robertson. He's still on the ground, still on the deck. You can just see on the left of screen here. He's in the hands of the trainers.
Meantime, the Lions have moved it pretty quickly to Retzlaff on the wing, into the pocket. Brown's finally got some room, but he's a long way from home. His only option is McGrath. And he found him. Good diving by McGrath, who we know can kick goals.
Coming from the ground, boys, Mitch Robertson. Big head clash there. His attack on the ball has been first class, as Danny just said. But he's worn one there.
Well, it's intent, King. It's just outstanding. And that's why the Carlton supporters have grown to love Mitch Robinson as we see him come off the ground, because he just wanted the ball more.
He's playing bruised footy.
Contested footy.
McGrath. For a badly needed goal from the Lions. They're down by 33. We're right behind him here. And it's a good finish. They needed that. And he's a danger man.
Key to that play is when Jonathan Brown marked the ball. He played on quickly, because that's what he wants. So he marked the ball 70 out. He turned straight away, looked up, found a leading target in McGrath. And say, boys, that's the way we need to play. Get the ball in the hands. If we get it, mark or a kick. Have a look at this. He gets the ball. As soon as he gets it, he's looking already. Gets back off the mark, says to the umpire, and there it is. Simple lead, good team play.
Back to 27 points. There's McGrath on Zach Tui.
Clever kick from Brown too.
It was a
just so he
terrific
could
kick.
dive at it.
And McGrath could be that option out of the goal square. We saw it against the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah,
He was terrific.
5 or 6 goals.
Yep, in a half.
Rich came in quickly off the line, couldn't quite trap it for a decisive possession. There's a 3-man tackle
And he's
made by the Blues players and going nowhere.
He's a hard match-up, McGrath. And you've got the Irishman too. He's been okay around that half-back line. But let's see what he's like in the goal square.
Rich collects, pumps it. Tough ball to be gathering. Redstuff got a hand on it. Jamison shrugs a tackle attempt from McGrath. Strength in the core. Curnow back. Yaron to set it all up. Difficult ball. Dygan equal to it. Shoots it over the top and they're away yet again.
Doesn't make a blue, Dygan.
Jamison inboard. Yaron takes off in full flight. He's got Garland long. He's got Eddie Betts short. He goes the short. 50 from goal. Eddie tried to create something. The Aussie started a fire. Gives it up. Not quite. Yaron knew what he was doing. I don't think too many others did. Eddie goes back in. Still wants to do it.
Like a pinball machine.
It's all part of the plan. Ellard. Power came hard the other way. Polkinghorne. Knocked out by Simpson. Good tackle from Redden. Stripped it.
Tough footy this last couple of minutes, Dwayne.
It is. Brisbane Lions know they've got a little momentum back. That could be 52.
No,
Whose
Redden's
ball
given
is
the
it?
free. It's Murphy's free kick.
Okay.
Redden gave him one on the ground afterwards.
It's coming back. Okay.
Here it is here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well spotted, Matty.
Little facial
Massage.
massage there.
Yeah. And a little bit of mud and cucumbers. Robinson shorts it. Cruiser. 4-metre kick, but Cruiser knew what Robinson was doing. Rich.
So did all the Brisbane defenders, Dwayne.
And now Jonathan Brown in a one-on-one. Jamison takes him on and wins. Murphy signed that 3-year deal this week, and it's great to see him sticking around. Carazzo all the way back to Scotland.
Last 3 or 4 minutes have been very entertaining. Some unusual decisions. Tui takes on Clark. Heads in the Betts direction again, and Hanley happy to see it over the line. We saw a 1-inch handball, 4-yard kick, bit of face massage. Boundary throwing. Leuenberger and Cruiser. And Cruiser made front spot. Got it back towards Tui. Robinson, good to see him back out there, and good to see him straight back into the contest. Cruiser just chips it nicely to Russell. Betts is free. Not now. He's been picked up. Russell. Now he's got to go back. Walker or Henderson, or perhaps Hampson. Beats everybody. Golby's caught. It's pretty tight in there. This is where you find an Eddie Betts or a Garlett, but it comes out to Golby to Black. The line's clear onto the chest of Clark.
Chris Judd's had a quiet quarter, boys. They've been able to clamp his influence on the game. Just the one disposal. He's got Sheldon going with him at the moment.
Clark with a balk. Gets it back and then chips it indiscriminately, really. Was hoping for Brown. Jamison wants a free kick. Here go the Blues again. Scotland can get home from outside 50. Hits it low, in fact too low. Still going though. Garlett paddling, waiting. Did he get it? Yes, he did. He knew it was coming. He felt the pressure, and he's got it.
That's leg speed. And as soon as you get the loose ball in the Carlton forward line there,
Oh, gee.
there's a couple of players unhappy will work off the ball there.
And he takes off.
And plays on and kicks the goal. Don't mind me. I'll take 6 points.
Oh, that's fantastic. He thought, well, no one's manning the mark. I can just waltz in. take a picnic lunch with me, stroll in and kick a goal. As we see the work off the ball here, a few frustrated line defenders and Carlton half forwards. I don't think there was a lot in it. You can see Adcock there. Boy from Maryborough plays it pretty up. But have a look at this. There's a bit of a scrimmage here. And then, oh yeah, just Adcock 50 metre there. Was it a jumper punch or was it a push to the ground?
Tell you what, it wasn't time off. And Carlton realised that and he took off.
How good was that?
Oh, yeah.
He thought, okay, there's a little bit of a scrimmage there, I'll just waltz in and kick a goal.
Yeah, leave the fighting for the big guys. I'll just kick some goals. He had a strange day at the office last week too. He was up and down and ended up with 4 goals. So he bobs up and it's a matter of pick your poison right now for the Brisbane Lions. Carlton getting goal kickers from everywhere, where it was just Walker early. Judd, little fumble, worked for him. Scotland ran into some traffic. Banfield tackles Judd, brings him down. Robinson a little high there on Redden.
We're talking about Robinson's attack. He's probably
Richards got him. There's some spice in this again. No time off. Corliss gives his ball.
Still into it, Robertson and
Mitch Clark.
It's an even fight. There's 4 in there, 2 from each team. So right now we're playing 16 on 16. Ball to the outer side. Polkinghorne. Head strapped after getting hit to the head a little earlier in the game, and he was concussed a few weeks ago, Polkinghorne, for the big hit with Heath Hocking. Here's another one of these hits we're talking about. High on Redden from Robinson.
it's a free kick.
There's been some heads being knocked over in this contest.
Yeah, a lot of bandages on a few of the boys already playing.
Yeah. Back with the action. No one going really anywhere from
Mitch
that
Robertson.
congestion.
Mitch Robertson and Mitch Clark, they both got their hands on the hip after that 90-second little wrestle. Polkinghorne there with one of the boys. Bit of friendly fire with Sam Sheldon early in the game.
Thornton, quick give to Scotland. Banfield ran him down. He's still got that. Oh, wonderful smother from Banfield. Second effort is good. Second effort is exceptional, but so too is Jamison, who's having a really good afternoon on Brown. Carazzo, time to just settle it down. Tui. Spreads it wider. Judd. Little chip pass from him to Garlett, a long way from goal. Siren sounds. Leuenberger to do battle with Hampson, who took an absolute beauty of a mark in the first quarter. Leuenberger looking for Clark as the ruck rover. Coming in quickly off the line though was Ellard. Spreads out wide, Polkinghorne. Robinson is there. Again, his attack on the footy is just wonderful to watch. Cruiser, it'll give off to Garlett. Ellard kept going. Was prepared to wear the bump from Adcock. And you always think that the ball's still alive here for the Blues. Umpire will give them plenty of time. It's just that sort of forward line when it just spills out or ricochets out, someone pops up with a clever goal.
Well, that's the improvement for Carlton, isn't it? As we've talked about, their forward pressure, their ability to hold the ball in has been supreme.
Hampson flicked it out the back. That might even roll through. Walker was pinched by Adcock. And Powell wants to get it over the line, and he does.
Walker's having a fantastic year. Kicked his career high 5 earlier, kicked 6 last week, and is on track for it again today.
Absolutely. Ball flicked down. Hanley trying to trap it with a number of Blues around him. Rich plays a hard tackle to keep it in, and umpire Dean Marr gets called for it again. Been given them an enormous amount of time in these packs.
He has. Wayne, you're good on your stats. He's been very accurate too, Walker. I think he's... him and Jack Rewald, I think they're going about 80%.
28 goals, 10 this year. And his 15 goals, 3 from set shots. So he has been the king in front of goals so far this year. Judd just flicks it over to Cruiser. In fact, it was more than a flick, it was a throw. Umpire was right there. And the throws have been in vogue. Players getting away with it, including Simon Black, who got away with one a few weeks ago and won the game with it. Austin.
This is where Carlton have been so good, just manning the mark, forcing Brisbane to play static footy, which by the time it gets to the big number 16, he's normally got 2 or 3 on him.
Golby, his first game, it's been a baptism of fire. Sits it up long, hoping for Leuenberger or Brown. They both jump in that pack. Clark stayed down, gathered the crumb. Leuenberger is a hot handball, made something of it in the end. Power stands under this, has to go, does go.
Well done.
And now they spread. Rockliff's the man he's after, and he hits him. Doesn't think he can make the distance. McGrath, the target, he takes the mark. It's away from Yaron. Tough angle. He's already got one to his name.
Created something out of nothing there. Brisbane had to kick down the line. They just contested the mark. Jonathan Brown was instrumental in that. But Mitch Clark, the 6'7" crummer, was the one who set it up, got it on the boot through there, and Lucky Power took a pretty courageous mark there, and a couple of good chances here of giving McGrath a shot from about 35 metres out.
He's been ultra accurate this year as well. 13 goals, 2. Tough angle. Strikes it nicely. It's drifting across the face. Only a behind. That would have been the ideal start.
Might have been a bit further out, I think, Spud.
Yep.
Got to take their chances, though. Brisbane can't afford to miss shots.
Well, they just haven't been getting marks inside their forward 50. That's such a rarity as Tui decides to go straight down the guts. Plenty of players around it. Inventive from Russell. Patfull spins out of the tackle. Murphy cuts through, slices through with skill. Judd breaks away. Open forward line here. Eddie Betts one-on-one with Adcock.
Well done, Adcock.
He did well because as soon as it hit the ground, you'd back Eddie Betts as Hanley breaks the tackle and heads out wide to Patfull, who's got strong hands. Sheldon wants it very long, but by the time he gets there, Cruiser should be there. And there he is.
Great spoiler. The crowd, they love to see the big number 8 back out on the track. He's a big man, he's been in the gym. Big, powerful boy.
A bit of a frightening shower with him and Hampson next to each other.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on, Roo, as Leuenberger kicks it up the side and Jamison in front of Redden once again.
I won't get involved in that conversation if you don't mind.
Well, Jamison reads the ball well, beautifully now, doesn't he?
Gibbs with the switch, and Scotland, as he is so often, running to a hole and then creating something and then lays it off onto Walker.
Goes short. Betts wants to take them on quickly. Back to Walker. Back to Betts, you'd think. And here he goes, Eddie. Looks up. Options are plenty. Low. Garland spills it. Rich worked the plan until that mark hit the deck. Maguire, turnover, Judd. He'll try and keep this alive. Scoops it back in the Garland direction. Well, don't argue from Redden. Drop the ball too. Walker tried to scoop it back. Garland still fighting on. Maguire, Redden tucked into the boundary. Collier and a manhandled free kick. It's against Thornton. Had hold of Collier's jumper before that attempt at a mark.
Needs to move it quick here, Collier. Either switch it or move it on down the line.
Cruises in, knocks it down. Ball back alive again. Golby over it, caught, and it's been an unkind game number 1.
He's got great game sense, Cruiser. You can see the way he was sweating on that pass inboard. He's read it beautifully.
Scotland peels off the back of him. He's 75 metres from goal. He hits it to the top of the square. And into the sunlight it goes, and everybody went in all directions except for Maguire, who took the mark to Black.
Not sure whether that was the option to go long to Walker and Betts. Henderson off the ground. He'd probably better off hitting those targets up. Walker likes the ball on the lead more than the high one to the top of the square.
Black kick to Austin. It was a good mark by Austin. He was under some pressure and he held onto it just inside the boundary line. He kicks to a pack. Leuenberger made front position. Banfield crumbs it, but then kicks it back in the wrong direction. Judd, well, his handball was too quick for Yaron. He didn't see it coming.
Stalemate at the moment, which Brisbane Lions won't necessarily mind, nor will Carlton. 32 points the margin right now. Leuenberger tries to flick it down from behind. Simon Black. Luke Power, short Austin. Love comes at him, puts some pressure on him, and that was all it took. He didn't have to go for the tackle. Wins himself a free just by standing there in an imposing fashion.
Henderson back on, boys. Just go into that deep forward position you're looking for, Danny.
And it's Kingy in front of the packed outer side stand. Etihad puts it up high in hope. Cruiser's lurking, he's up. Can't take the mark. Clark overran it slightly. Cruiser got down on top of Golby. Power, short, Gibbs right there, thumps it to the line. Knocks it out of play. Bryce Gibbs, 100th game, only missed one game. 100 games out of a possible 101. Has been an outstanding pickup.
Pretty good 100.
It's been an amazing 100. Ball knocked down towards Power. Caught again. Sacked out of there in the end from Kernover. Kernover found Judd. Short. Anderson. Well, he's making them pay. Every time he goes forward, he takes a mark.
Well, Kingy call it. And it was a good move because that long kick went in. He's just a different matchup, Henderson. Because I think Eddie Betts came off for Henderson, was it, David?
Yes, it was, Danny.
And that gives the different matchup because all of a sudden a crummer comes off the ground. You've got a guy who's 6'4", and all of a sudden have to reshuffle their defence.
Now this is the test for Henderson. 2 behinds. Hasn't kicked a goal this year. And sprays that wide. It's bending back, and he gets it to come. His first goal of the afternoon.
And he's taken another grab. He missed one earlier, but the real difference between both sides is the ability to move the ball quickly. And we see the sides at the bottom of the ladder really struggle to move it from half back and give their forwards a chance to get the ball in a one-on-one situation. Jonathan Brown's been 2-on-1 all day, and you saw Lockie Henderson there just taking an easy mark out in front because he had time and space to be able to present an easy lead for Judd to find.
Etihad battled against 3. Redden got it to Black. Sheldon ducks under a high one, and then off the ground he handballs it further forward, and then Redden just keeps it going in the right direction. Banfield, wonderful tackle. Yaron sweated off him, then dragged him down. Patfull dives in over it, could be in trouble. Yes, he is.
Yeah, it used to be the early bird gets the worm, you go in first, but now it's the second mouse gets the cheese. You just wait back and let him pick it up and pounce.
Just writing these down.
There's a mouse play going on too.
Short and wide over the head of Hampson. Not sure what he thought was happening there, but it eluded him and it's out of play. 37 points the margin. They're hanging in there, Brisbane. They're not really in it, but they're not out of it either. Hampson, Clark, Ellard trying to squeeze his way through. Walker off the toe. And ball back out of play. Juddy's had his time on the bench and had a little rest.
Mitch Robertson's just gone downstairs, boys. I think he's suffering some ill effects from the previous 2 clashes.
Thanks, Kingy. As from the boundary throw in, Hampson. Collier couldn't get boot to ball. The tackle came from Walker. Black to Redden. Golby. Did all right in the end. He managed to get it 30 or 40 metres forward. Oh, Yaron kept it in. Banfield assumed it was going out. It wasn't. Top of the square, Henderson. Where's Eddie? He's not there yet. Henderson picks it up. They wrap him up. They want holding the ball, and they get the affirmative. No mice or cheese there, just a tackle. Rockcliffe, just a little chip pass to Collier. Redden's a little bit further afield, but Carlton have got things worked out pretty much man on man at the minute.
It's a part of the game that our older generation don't like, isn't it? The guy going in not getting rewarded. It's certainly changed.
Yep. Scotland.
Really having a career best year, Heath Scotland.
Yeah, I think he is.
He's super.
The twilight of his career.
He's going to bang it back and hope for a big grab. Henderson was there. So too Betts. Henderson, no, out of bounds.
When you've got Judd, Murphy, Gibbs, Carazzo in your side, Simpson even, they don't pay as much respect as what they should do. Scotland has always been a ball magnet.
Michael Voss, Hall of Famer, with our own Mark Rasciuto during the week. The Big Four inducted. And there he is. 289 games, a Brownlow, 3 premierships. Finals in his first year as coach, finished 6th. It's been a tough road since then. Hacked out of the area. Tui goes up, couldn't bring it down. Again, another mad scramble. Golby got a half a kick out of there, goes back in. Judd strips it, he's back on, he's fresh, gives to Ellard. He sizes it up from where Judd said no and says, I'll show you how to do it.
He's very good at setting him up, Judd. I watched him closely last week and against Port Adelaide. It almost looked like he was going half-pace, just doing what needed to be done. And at times today, he sort of looked the same here. He just wins the hard ball, gets it out. Looked like he didn't know what he was doing with his handball, but he did. He put it out in front and set that one up. And he heading pretty closely here for another 3 votes, by the way he's going about it.
Been impressed with Ellard. That's a good finish. And he's so tough in close, Ellard. He loves the contest.
And you see where the importance of Chris Judd, as you said, Roo, just the ability to pickpocket, win that contested possession. He's had 23 disposals, again, nearly half of them contested.
Luke Power and Simon Black on the bench as Mitch Clark kicks them forward. Brown just watching on almost.
He's
cannot get into the game.
There he is.
He's labouring, Brownie, isn't he?
Hard running from Yaron. He got it clear to Carazzo. They get a big switch here from the Blues. Next in line will be Dygan. Gets it from Thornton. Ellard is running very hard to the wing. He's in the queue. Back through the middle. The option is Simpson. But now Ellard to a contest. Judd, wonderful reflex give again. This time he releases Simpson. How's that for skill from Garlett? Oh, deserved a goal.
They're very good at making something out of nothing. Judd, Garlett, Gibbs, Yaron.
Betts.
Judd, look out. Judd's lifted a gear.
Yep.
All of a sudden he's just found a gear that nobody else has got.
I think he's enjoying it.
Absolutely. Redden, he's the only shining light for the Brisbane Lions. He's the only sane man in their asylum. Getting plenty of it. They need others. Leuenberger, handball to Jonathan Brown. Outside 50, bangs it long. Collier, Yaron, and he just taps it down. Banfield dangerous, but misses behind.
Well, playing quickly here again, Carlton. They're very good at playing up quickly from the behind from the opposition. Just get their running game going.
Curnow long, Betts stays down. Robinson flies.
And gets another little pitch play there, little headed on his head again.
They love each other, those two, don't they?
Sits it up. Henderson, he gets a chance to go. Knocked away from him. Handley might be content. He is, and Dwayne with a help from the fence. Kingy?
I think Mitch Roberts is one of those rare players, Dwayne, that plays better concussed.
He's had an amazing couple of weeks. You're right, 34 possessions and 30 possessions in the past 2 weeks. And he comes in here and is up to 17 already.
There's a few willing to concuss him.
What do you do before the game then, Kingy?
I'm not sure of the pre-game routine for him.
Here's Eddie Betts. Steps around. Too easy, Eddie.
He's done extremely well, Brisbane, at the start of this third quarter to hold it up and be strong in the contest. But it's weight of numbers in the end. It's just options. Options galore in their forward half. And you see Betts, you've got Walker with 3.
Murphy with a clearance.
Murphy against, Judd the last clearance of goal to Ellard. Then Murphy's offside, who just signed a 3-year contract to Eddie Betts. Terrific team play.
Eddie Betts showing us how many he's got. Just the 2 so far.
There's Matthew Cruiser in the ruck. It'll be interesting to see who they sub off from Carlton, with Bauer on the bench. What do you think, David King, with Cruiser? He's played nearly 70 minutes of the game now, so he's got a lot of game time into him.
Yeah, he has. Look, I'm not sure. They might go the young guy in Tui. He's been very good, but they just need to get Bauer back into AFL football and playing good, solid defensive football.
And maybe the fact that Hampson is on the bench right now might mean that he's resting to take the ruck for the whole last quarter if Cruiser is subbed off. Murphy spears it wide. Robinson knocks it down. Simpson was lurking and takes off on Collier. A little bump in the back as he get the kick away. Still might work. Walker spins around. He's got 4. It's party time.
I think he kicked 6 straight last week and he's got 4 straight today, so very, very efficient. And look, that's just there's a number of goal kickers for Carlton. There's so many avenues to go. A great chase by Brisbane there, put the pressure on Fisher, and when you're hot, you're hot. The ball just pretty much fell into Walker's lap there. Adcock was a bit unlucky, but when you play in front, that's what happens, and he's very hard to match up on, Andrew Walker.
The key to modern football is speed at the ends of the ground.
Yep.
You've got Jamison. Carlton's full forward line, Betts, Garlett and Walker, I don't think is a quicker 3 players. They prefer the ball coming in, along the ground,
As Dwayne mentioned, it's party time here for the Blues. They're looking for another one as Clark's dropped back to try and help out for the Lions. Haven't managed a goal in this quarter. The margin has blown out to 55 points. And that's risky. Well, Golby, he was out the back door and he clears it out to the wing. And Daigan happy to see it over. Cruiser still in the ruck.
He's not winning the ball, Brisbane. 16 inside 50s to 6, Carlton's favour. He's not getting their hands on the ball. The Lions
smashed at the clearances. Here's Scotland again. Going to back himself to outrun Cruiser. Can he get past Power? And in the end, he's won a free kick it was grabbed around the leg after he handballed.
Talked about him having 15 inside 50s for the quarter, Carlton. Judd has had 5 alone in this term.
Play with half forward every week, Kingy.
Big switch on again here. Daigan back to Thornton. Brown can just look on. Yaron, here he goes. Caught. Russell holding the ball. Well, Brisbane did well there to slow that down. They can't get the footy back.
I think Brownie would have appreciated Thornton just hanging the dummy out
a little bit,
a little bit cheeky.
It was a little bit cheeky, wasn't it? Here's Black. Brown just stumbles and falls.
I just want to keep the eyes in the back of his head, Thornton.
Not a good option, I don't think, there from Simon Black. There's too many Blues in that little corridor.
Simpson picked it off and picked it up.
They're not chasing either, Brisbane. They're shot.
Poor kick was intended for Walker. Simon Black to pump it back, but just about every Carlton player in front of him now. They've all flooded back. 24 minutes gone. Third term, 55-point margin. Carlton be content to get to three-quarter time with no injuries. In this game, virtually in the bag. Short to half forward, missed Rich completely. Carazzo fell into it and Robinson came up with the ball. Back to Carazzo. What about a little gift to Murphy? They are. Tui all the way back. Gibbs, it hasn't been spectacular, but it's ticked all the boxes, as he normally does. Kicks toward the wing. Clark went early. And Walker's away. They've got 3 options here. Eddie Betts looks up. Garland eases into it and takes a good grab.
Once the ball spilled over the back, Mitch Clark, he had just to get a piece of the ball, put it 8 rows back, and it was just
speed.
Yeah, and as soon as it went over the back, released out of the back route, she was all over. Have a look at the leg speed. Have a look at the mark there and the ball movement. That was terrific.
It's a harder mark than it looked too. Garland, who was going at full pace.
Absolutely. 25 goals. 12 coming in, and he's got 1, make that 2, and the Brisbane Lions are punch drunk.
Speaking of punch drunk, Michael Voss just in front of him, David King, he wouldn't have liked the Brisbane Lions players, and more importantly, Mitch Clark, who had a chance to spoil the ball.
Big fly, wasn't it? He really just had to play the percentages there and make sure that ball went out of bounds. Take the pack with him if he had to, but not the clean fly like he did.
Great ball movement again, though. Speed kills.
Just a bit of running repairs. Popping the finger back in. But
there's a sub there, David King. Green on for Brisbane. Redcliffe off.
Correct, Danny.
Here they go again, the Blues. Robinson just flicked it out the back, wanting Scotland to get involved. Power tackled him. Black just chipped it over the top. Brown can run onto it. Cheers for Jonathan Brown. Well, he had a shot in the first quarter from around the same sort of distance. A little bit straighter in front and missed it. And it's been a long time between drinks for him.
Well, it's his first mark inside forward 50, Jonathan Brown.
Lions yet to kick a goal for the quarter, right on 50. Leans back and slots it through. A belated goal for the big man.
Yeah, he does. That was a good goal by Brown, and he does like kicking him from outside 50. He kicks through the ball beautifully, and probably needed that one for the confidence a bit. He just doesn't look the same Jonathan Brown at the moment. He could be a bit sore in the body. He's worked hard to get back from those facial injuries, and played okay since he's been back. Kicked 8 goals in 4 games, but he's a bit of a victim of some pretty ordinary delivery today, and again 2-on-1.
Back to 55 points. Jamison has done an outstanding job on the superstar Jonathan Brown today. Carlton fans enjoying this one. It's lopsided, but boy, they're getting their money's worth. Tui shuffles it out. Dygan wide. Robinson knocked out a couple of times and still going. Simpson, not a lot to go to. Sells the dummy easily to Adcock. Pokes it inside 50. Hampson down there, couldn't mark. Patfull has had a tough day at the office. No merit for him back there to help him out today. Joel Patfull. Hanley's back there to help him here. Redden pumps it out of the area. Russell read that well. Hands it off. Scotland in the pocket. He might go from there. He shots it to Eddie. Betts in the pocket. He's thinking of playing on. And shorts being the optimum word when you talk about Eddie. Big parachute shorts down to his knees. Hitches them up. There's a little chat to the umpire to find out what kind of angle he's on. Deep breath. Virtually hear a pin drop. And this massive Carlton crowd rise punches the lead up over 60 points. A 61-point margin. The best Brownlow vote per game ratio of all time, averaging just under 1 vote per game. No other 200-game player has a better average than Judd.
By the end of his career, we might all agree.
Yep.
And I think it's going to continue on today. But we're into the final quarter. A big comfortable lead for the Blues. The Lions trying to get something happening on the scoreboard perhaps in this last quarter. And here's the man in question in Judd. Tapped forward by Power, looking for Rich. They got it forward through Green. Brown. Well, he's got Thornton as his opponent now. That's Tui. Rich. Clever handball, got it to Mitch Clark, kicked the first goal for the Lions.
Well done.
And a very similar one, this one through the air, the first one on the ground, they get the first goal.
I'll tell you what, Michael Voss would have had a bit of a crack at him at 3/4 time. There's no harm in getting beaten by a better side, but if you get beaten by a better side and you don't have a full crack, that's when he would have got annoyed. And I reckon he would have given him a bit of a spray there, and well done to Mitch Clark. That was a good goal, but just wonder, Spud, what was your Brownlow ratio to game?
Oh, that's unkind.
Oh, come on.
100.
Oh, come on.
100 games per vote.
That's one of the lowest blows Matty Campbell we've ever heard.
But it's coming from a Hall of Fame member, and I think you get a fortnight's grace. You can say whatever you like. You can turn up at the footy whenever you like.
It's hard to argue with it.
Mark Rashido.
3 hurts.
Danny Frawley with us. You get a rebounce.
But Mitch Clark, Look, he's been solid today, solid contributor. 2 goals, 17 disposals. Out of contract at the end of the year.
Don't change the subject, Danny. You've been responsible for a lot of Brownlow votes going the other way.
Oh, no.
That's a low blow.
It's getting worse. Adcock dragged down. Going nowhere.
As I say, you just need to suck it up. And but Jonathan Brown now, I'll be taking Thornton back to the goal square. Just give Brownie, open it up for him.
That's if it gets there, of course. It's a hard putt. They've got to get it down there. Collier, well, he could have got it down there. Took some time. Tui goes hard. Hands on it. Gibbs, as I said earlier, just keeps ticking the boxes without doing anything dramatic. Russell wide. Henderson, one-on-one with Patfull, who goes to ground. Henderson takes on Stiller, wins. Simpson, he can go back if he wants. Russell, look away handball, didn't quite work. Banfield, he ducked into that. That's why it's not a high tackle. It could even have been ball, but it's a ball up.
It's important they at least try and win this quarter, Brisbane. Just get some semblance of confidence going forward. That's all you can do. Win the next contest.
Powers there trying to do that, but he can't get past Curnow. We'll have another ball up.
I think you're right, Danny. Often you start games as you finish the previous week. So this next 30 minutes of just good, solid, competitive football is important for the Lions.
Russell around the corner from the clearance. Adcock has to stand and wait. Cruiser. Did okay, but Patfull was standing in his way. Adcock's not real sure on the switch here. It's got to be good. It is. Hanley. Give over the top. Rockcliffe running. Now Power. Stops, goes back. Puts it out wider to McGrath.
Well, look at the man in the mark again from Carlton.
It was Cruiser, and in the end it's Golby who kicks it long. Clark is there again at ground level. Well, indecision from both lines there. Green, the young man, let it go for Clark, and Clark left it go for him. And umpire involved once again.
Crowd just taking a breath. Scoreline 55 points to their advantage, the Blues fans. Enjoying a period of time where they can smell the roses. They know the 4 points are theirs. Bauer just on as the sub. Thornton takes off. Set it all up. Murphy goes back. First time they've been unsure from defence. Gibbs has the space to work it, and Murphy can get and go.
Oh, that was great running from Murphy. He started the initial disposal for Carlton.
Curnow pops it. Dygan, he can go. And it opens up now for the Blues. Floats it up. Hampson or Walker. Walker goes. Almost raked it in with one arm. Hanley. Patfull. Redden. Hawkinghorn. Green. Worked it to the midfield. Brown wants it long. In his direction. Held up by the sun. It still takes a ripper.
That's magnificent, Brad Dwayne. You got Bauer and Thornton there. He's in the middle, meeting the sandwich. He's the only one realistically going hard at the ball. The other two guys were a little bit indecisive.
I think the sun was in all of their eyes. All three players there.
It's still a good grab though, look at that. Bauer should have no doubt affected the spoil there. And that's the Jamison factor. Off the ground, Brownie takes a contested mark inside the forward 50. That's how good Jamison's going.
Let's try and pull this lead back to a respectable number. Jonathan Brown from 40. That's a spear. 49 points.
Jonathan Brown kicked his second goal now, and I think Brett Ratton would be wanting to get a message out to his players now, not just to float through this last quarter, but to continue on what they did for the first 3 quarters. A great mark by Jono Brown, but Bauer's just come onto the ground. He needs to exert his influence on the game and have a big quarter and try and tell Brett Ratton not to be a sub next week. He just got to come on and make a difference, not do a mediocre punch like that.
2 for Brown, and the Lions have 2 in this quarter. And they get it under 50 points.
Well, Bauer coming on from the sub. If you don't perform well, Mitch Robinson's the example, he should be saying. He's throwing himself out. Bauer just went in there half-hearted with that spoil, that attempted spoil.
Luke Power did well. to Black, who hit it in the right direction for Rich to run onto it. Handball out wide to Green. They've still got possession of the lines. He throws it on the boot. Brown again. This is one of those situations where he was beaten by Jamison, couldn't get into the game. He could easily end up with 4 or 5.
And you can see that Thornton does not like playing deep at all. And the key is they're winning the ball out of the middle as well.
Yeah.
But you could just see Thornton looking around for support. And Big Brownie knew that the closer he got to goal, the more nervous Thornton got.
To win the next clearance, Carlton.
He's hit the last 2 beautifully off the boot. That's the key. 25 metres out. Kicks his 3rd.
That's what you want from your skipper. You just play each contest on its merits. You don't worry about the scoreboard. You don't be dictated. It was a terrific win of the hard ball there from Rich, getting the ball quickly forward. And you just see Thornton. You just lost total sight of where Jonathan Brown was. You can play in front, but you've got to play in the angle, so you can at least see the ball and touch and feel your direct opponent. He had neither, playing 10 metres in front, all at sea.
Taking their foot off Brisbane's throat, the Blues, and percentage could be a factor come the end of the year for Carlton. They do have a draw, but a couple of other teams also in their area of the ladder have a draw, Sydney and Essendon, so it could well be a factor. Leuenberger. Wide, Russell missed it. Simpson pursuing it, gets there first, overran it slightly. Robinson, who's fought hard like that all day, has just joined us, and he drags it down, and umpire Brett Ryan will bounce.
Thornton's just come from the ground, boys. He was complaining of some sort of issue, maybe something groin-related. I'd find an issue too if I was stuck one out with Jonathan Brown in the goal square. Bauer, now his new opponent.
Yes, of course, he can't bring Jamison back on, which he might like to do right now. Murphy close to the boundary and taking it out. Carazzo will get a ball in. Halfway point of the season after this round.
Big mismatch there in height and weight. Bauer v Brown. But the last thing Brett Retton would want was one of those quarters where they get outscored 6 goals to 2.
Ellard takes on Stiller. Simon Black continues to fight on as always. Carazzo gets back, Rich right with him, wrapped him up, extracts a kick. Mitch Robinson, Green, Dygan goes low, somehow comes up. Ellard also went down low with his head, got one high. Polkinghorn, who's had one high earlier, and that's why he's wearing the head bandage. So along the boundary line, Robinson to set it up. Heads inside 50, and Maguire got there first, but spilled it. Garlett to his own advantage. Golby dives in. He's now wrapped up, had to get rid of it. Patfull, again they're under siege, the Brisbane Lions. Wraparound tackle, crowd screaming ball. Don't get their way.
Well done by Hampson there, the big fella. He didn't have the speed to get to the low kick to come in, but he did get the big fist in there and brought it to ground for his little man to try and mop up and get another goal, but couldn't quite finish it off.
Plenty of numbers for Carlton there, but just a little bit too much on the knock from Hampson. So how are they set up here? Cruiser in the ruck. And down in front it came. Black to clear for the Lions. Henderson caught by Sheldon. The ball cut off. Not sure where to go. And eventually it's Patfull. Can he hit a target from here? He picks out Banfield. Spoil came from Tui, falls for Redden. Banfield got back up again. He had to because Redden decided he was back in the game. Spin, caught, got a lot of time.
Now.
High tackle.
Well, he's lucky in the end. If the tackle went low, he was caught, but there, the letter of the law, that's a head-high tackle. Yaron complained the umpire. He was disappointed with that because they've tackled really well today, Carlton.
I'd like to see that replay again, though, to see if he ducks here. Sees it coming and ducks.
Definitely a free, I think, though.
Yeah, his arms right.
He did duck, but it was definitely a free. Rich pumps it long to the square.
Oh, hang on.
He's got all the way home. Touched on the line. Just the behind.
It's just the left arm. It was the left bower. Just touched it on the line. As Carlton run round to Eddie Betts.
Just not working as hard here, Carlton, now, like they were in the first 3 quarters. Just really not putting Brisbane to the sword like they probably should.
You're right. We talked about it winning every quarter. They've won the first 3 quarters. And for a top 4 team, you just need to play consistent footy.
Hard attack on the ball once again from Mitch Robinson.
But mentally, if they don't win this quarter, at least it'll give Brett Ratton, the coach, and the coaching staff something to throw at their team.
From the throw-in, Cruiser down in front. Simpson is there. Takes possession, heads to the goal square.
How does this happen?
Hampson all on his own. Oh, how about that? I'll take it, thank you.
I don't think that's got anything to do with speed, Hampson.
How does the tallest man on the ground, Roo, find space 30 metres on his own? You have a look at the kick in here. Have a look at the space he's got. Just ball watches the Adelaide defence. Maguire.
I was just about to ask you where Matty Maguire's career's at. Well, he's the one chasing him. What do you think?
It's not good when you look at that passage of play.
And it does look as if Matty Maguire's been around forever, but he's only 27.
Yeah, struggling with injuries.
Well, that had nothing to do with injury. That was just ball watching.
He's good on the Toyota tour, but
if you got the runner out to Maguire and say Hampson's the tallest man in the ground, didn't you see him?
Russell starting to get a little momentum back, the Blues. Judd, Patfull beats him. Redden has been good all afternoon. Half forward, Collier couldn't trap it. Henderson does. It's going to be a win against his old club for him. Cruiser, everybody just wanting him to get through this game. Matthew Cruiser, first game since round 13 last year here against Fremantle. Big fly from Walker. Couldn't take the mark. Power, Polkinghorne, Green. Floats it to half forward. Backing back with the flight, Russell. He got the fist on it. Clark got 3 to beat. Cruiser bends down. Russell goes in for it. Dragged down. Going nowhere. Ball up.
Got on the Lions forward 50. It was 61 points at 3/4 time. So they've edged a couple of goals back. Clark winning the knock. Searching for Polkinghorne. Simpson can accelerate. He just had superior pace there.
9 inside 50s to 2 in fact this quarter. Brisbane to 8 for 3 goals, 1 to 1 goal. So they've had a big last quarter.
They've won a couple of clearances.
Yeah, they're getting their hands on the ball. 6 to 3 clearances and contested possessions 20 to 15.
Adcock a little fumble. Could be costly. It may well be costly because here go the Blues. Simpson on the end of the handball of Scotland. Breaking for him into the pocket. Murphy.
Perfect kick from Simpson to Murphy. They might have to hold it up. There's no tall in the Carlton forward line.
No, but he can use it short. Just into Garlett. Curnow. From the 50. Curnow's kick to the top of the square.
Well, long Eddie Betts.
Well, probably not the best option when he head-to-head with Patfull. McGrath breaking, not sure.
Oops.
Slips out of the tackle. Now just kicks it and hopes.
And not a bad torpedo either. Banfield read it. Yaron wraps him up. Can't really drag him down now. He's got rid of it. Hampson.
Good speed.
Absolutely. And thumps it back. Oh, big lead Walker. Over the top. Skywalker.
That was magnificent. But keeps pushing it. I think he wants to go back and kick his 5th, I think, because he's on top with his goal kicking.
You can smell a handful, thanks. But well, this is why he's so hard to match up on, because he's 6'3". Now a lot of people at home go 6'3", 190 centimetres. Yet that's what he is. He's surprisingly tall, but he's also very, very fast, and he's got a big leap on him as well. So a very difficult matchup.
Will kick from the paint. They'll pump this lead back over the 50-point margin. Beautiful to watch.
It's 11 goals straight now. 6 last week, 5 today. And you have a look at the layoff. This is great play
Look
from
at this.
Hanson. He's having a purple patch. But have a look at the Brisbane defence again, layoff Walker. Maguire again was looking for the body. He's been a very brave. Well, I'm not sure whether it was it was a goose step actually. He made him look like a goose. But seriously, Matty just had to either grab the body or spoil the ball. It's as simple as that.
We've seen some great individual highlights today. That one, another one from Andrew Walker. 5 straight for the afternoon. Spud?
He's out of contract, I think, in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think Carlton want to sign him up pretty quickly, Roo.
Well, he's got noughts next to him in the behind column, and he's adding noughts in the contract column. And they've stepped it up again, Carlton, after a slow period. Here's Judd. Give on the up. Missed his target, though. Raked in by Leuenberger. Black. Robinson is coming.
Oh,
and he went past and got him. Advantage paid.
Oh, it's on behind play too.
Well, guess who's involved? Chance for Brisbane, though. McGrath lines it up and gets an answering goal. They won't give up just yet.
You see the players having a little scuffle. Nothing untoward there. Surprise, surprise. Mitch Robinson involved again. And we just see why over the top of the Brownlow medalist Black. That wasn't good enough for Mitch. It was a bit of a cheap shot. You see Black going for the ball. He was lucky he didn't hurt him actually there, Mitch Robinson, because that'd have been head-high contact. I think Brett Ratton can now look at Mitch and say there's a fine line between toughness and stupidity.
Interesting to watch just there. He got up to apologise. Adcock got involved. And then Simon Black, who's been around a long time, said, wasting your breath, boys.
But he was lucky, Mitch Robinson, that Black Simon went lower than the head-eye contact. If he had to get head-eye contact there, Mitch, he would have been looking for a little bit of a spell on the sidelines.
He missed his head completely. And
very
can't
lucky.
be booked for just missing. Etihad, Judd, trying to thread it through, lays the tackle. Simon Black, Banfield. Not the point where he wanted to slip, wrapped up by Gibbs, ball up.
Can be a bit of a tactic too, that one, when you to hit someone and then just come up and say, oh, sorry.
It's almost a giveaway though, isn't it? You did something wrong.
Wasn't me.
There's the fend off on Adcock after it as well, where he might have got some high contact. Mitch Robinson, Yaron takes them on again from half back to set it up. Tui lifted the arms well. Gibbs. Hanson overlooked Judd, went for Carazzo. Scotland just waited until an option came, even though he was already tackled. Tui back from Judd, bumped after he got the kick away. Robinson's up and ready.
Surprised he uses his hands. He uses his head.
He'll need a fair old ice bucket after the game. He'll be in a huge barrel of ice.
Sets it up to Cruiser. Almost pulled it in with one hand. Just couldn't bring it down. Power to Rockcliffe, back towards the wing. Eddie Betts just on. Fresh man. Lays a half tackle. Saw the ball. Goes ball. Gets ball. It'll be a ball up. 105 to 57.
So Hampson wins that knock easily. Dygan. A quick give to Simpson, who was skirting around the back. Oh, collision coming from Collier and Austin. Garlick down. Clever handball to Carazzo, and he's in some space. Sidestep, invisible man. Kicked it longer. Here's a chance for Eddie Betts. He's got 3. Clever tap forward. Cruiser, handball over the top. Murphy runs into the open goal. It's a blue Sunday at Etihad.
Murphy having on the receiving end there. You like getting a goal or two like that every now and then, but he's having a fantastic year as well. Garlett was the one that got the ball in the middle of the ground. It's just speed all over the ground with Carlton. If it's not him, it's Yaron. If it's not him, it's Betts. If it's not him, it's Murphy or Judd. They've just got plenty of speed, and that is the key ingredient in modern day football, and they have got plenty. Are they good enough to win the flag? They've only been beaten by Collingwood and Geelong.
I like the way they've stiffened up their back line. They're very hard to score against. Their forward line is functioning beautifully. Their midfield is one of the best in the comp. They're the sleeper in the competition. There's no doubting that.
Yeah, they are a genuine contender. And The AFL is all the better for it, the fact that they're a genuine contender. Cruiser, another packed house here to watch this. You could sell 200,000 tickets to a Collingwood-Carlton grand final if they were to continue to go further than they've been for the last decade. It's been 10 years since they've been top four, the Blues. But they'll be third tonight. Murphy, big fist, and thumps it out of play.
It was smart too, boys, by Brett Ratton today to rest Jamieson, to take him off. It may have cost a couple of goals to Brown, but really in the long-term plans of this club, they need him to be fit and firing in September.
Carazzo threads it wide. Simpson, short, Murphy to set it all up. They all want it long. Betts wants it long. Hanson wants it long. And he goes short to Diver.
That was too easy.
That was.
Tui yet to get himself a goal, maybe just beyond his range, the Irishman, although
His eyes are opened up.
oh, he pumps it, he sends it long. There's his first goal in AFL footy.
And that's just fantastic for Carlton, for a kid to come into the side, do that. You see, that's what confidence does. He's had 19 touches now. He's kicked his first goal. He's kicking at 75%. But playing with confidence and having a peng from 53 metres is just a real fantastic reward for a lad that would have sacrificed a fair bit to have a crack at AFL footy. Well done, young fella.
They've won the first three quarters convincingly. It's a dead rubber this quarter at the moment, so Brett Ratton would love to go to his players after the game. Boys, well done. You've won every quarter of footy.
Redden, Power, Clark. Blues are the numbers again. Henderson and Bauer against Brown. Rich tried to tow it off the deck. Didn't want to pick it up. And Carazzo back. Henderson short. Judd to set it all up again. And he takes some time. The other good thing about Carlton's draw is that in round 23 they have their second bye. So perfect time, one game before the finals, for a finals-bound team to have that 1 week off.
It'll be interesting whether it's a positive or a negative.
Oh, okay.
Well, at the moment, Dwayne, there's been 14 teams have had the bye. There's been 10 losses, 4 wins after the bye.
I reckon going into the finals, 1 week out, it might actually start to turn into a positive.
It'll flip side, won't it?
Yep.
Chris Yaron's he's a number 6 draft pick too, so another top 10 draft pick that they've got in their side. And you're right, him at halfback's been invaluable. A lot of sides are doing it now.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
They take the kick quickly. Trying to break on through was Stiller. Patful on hands and knees to Austin. Golby.
Again, frontal pressure from Carlton.
It's super stuff. It's still going for Carlton. It's still going in the right direction. And it's a goal to Murphy.
It's been an amazing game. Look at Walker's kicked 5. You've got Eddie Betts with 3, now Murphy 2. That's 10 goals straight. 10 goals straight from 3 players. Murphy's probably been one of the better players on the ground, 28 disposals. I think it was a good option. Eddie could have handballed Eddie Betts, but there was a Brisbane player around, so he probably played a percentage football in the end. But again, it was that forward pressure. Every time,
a hand in there from Mitch Robinson.
Yeah, Mitch Robinson, but every time Brisbane look up, there's a Carlton player coming to their face. That frontal pressure there, great goal.
Out to the biggest margin of the game now, 67 points.
And it means they're winning every quarter too, Dwayne. They started really well, Brisbane, at the start of this quarter, but Carlton have upped the ante.
And to get through without any injuries now, Hampson dragged down, holding the ball. Power. So Cruiser on the bench. He's got through the game, which is great news. Collier takes the mark. Inside 50. Going to kick the 1 goal this year, Tom Collier. Get himself a consolation prize.
58 inside 50s to 43, Carlton's way for the game.
Seconds wind down. And he gets himself on the score sheet.
Well, late goal to Brisbane. Is that 5 on each now?
Yep.
Right, so you're going to have to get you another goal for your 4-quarter win for Carlton now, so see if Carlton can do that. But that was just a bit of smooth moving, a bit of junk time footy. They kept it pretty clean. It was a great kick to Collier going forward, and he finished off with a goal. But another good performance by Carlton. They'll be very happy with this. Vossi would be very unhappy. They've had 2 bad performances in a row after their first 2 wins of the year before that. So they need to get themselves back in the right frame of mind to finish off the season well, Brisbane.
They'll head back home to play Richmond next week. Dwayne has already mentioned that the Blues will take on the Swans. 5-1 apiece for the quarter. Robinson with a clearance. Can Carlton finish with one late one? Maguire has had a tough afternoon. Takes a mark.
No, well done. Good contested mark. But they've consolidated top 4 spot, the Blues.
They're in the 3rd position on the ladder. Another very impressive performance by this Carlton team. 2011 is looking very rosy for the Old Navy Blues.
We'll keep our ends up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous Old Dark Blues.